Good evening, good evening, good evening. Back to myth, another night of myth making. And start with just one theme, a theme that we've worked on before, but I think we can present it now in a new way. Key notion: relations are constant the terms vary. Everything in the universe, anything you want to know, is made up of either terms or relations. You're either going to study particular things, or you're going to study the way in which particular things relate. And that's the sum of it all. But there's something quite interesting about relations and terms that are constant. Because if we are within a hierarchical universe, right, that's what we're living in. That's the nature of our existence, a hierarchical, ordered universe. Then this quite simple statement, relations are constant, terms vary, has an interesting significance for us, because that means the highest order, the most significant, the most divine of all ordered systems is no different than on the physical universe, whatever intermediary terms there may be. Because the terms will vary, the relations are constant. Now, I'd like to bring you into mythology through metaphysics and then back into mythology. So let's start. First of all, anything in the Platonic universe starts out with the highest view of the nature of the one. Nature of the one, or the good, is the ultimate. This is well developed in Plato's Parmenides, the first hypothesis. It's that beyond which nothing can be said. This is the dia negativa. This is the ultimate about which everything before it must remain in silence. You cannot ever predicate anything of it because it would be lessening it. Therefore, we start with the one. Now, it's very interesting. You start with the one. And the only real metaphysical question there is, which of course is the nature of the one. You can take that many ways, and it's always kind of an intriguing way to jump and take it in a new way, so I have to hold back the horses because I just thought of another way of taking it. But let's try it. Look here. The next most fundamental thing is what is called by three names: being, vitality, or power. We can use power or vitality. And intellect, or we can use another term for it, mind. Vitality. By being, we mean the highest expression of what is, the purest. Notice three terms. They can be arranged most ideally in a triangle because they function as a mean analogy. Let's put it there, all right? Being, power, intellect. Now, what is this? Look here, what is this? These are three words that are fundamental because there is a very profound spiritual experience of illumination. Right. This divine luminosity, which is experienced by some people, sometimes can be regarded as divine radiance, divine luminosity, pure light. No boundaries, no boundaries, no boundaries, no up and down, permeates all, and yet it can be participated in ever and ever more deeper levels, but it's always the same. Now, where does the Greek spirit of metaphysics enter this? And that is, what words can you assign to this? First word is, for the person, they encounter something, which is more real than anything else they've ever experienced. It has a very vast, profound reality. Being, special word. Encountering it, you know that there can be nothing beyond it, there can be nothing higher than it. It must be the highest expression of what is, and the most profound. But it's not an ordinary light. It has a vast power and vitality to it. It's not dead. It has a vast power and vitality to it. But one thing is clear, is that you are face to face with an experience that you can recognize in lesser forms and shadows as intuition. Suddenly you're confronted with an obvious fact, and the obvious fact is, for any intuition you've ever had, that's the very same thing extended beyond limit. Therefore, it's a startling awareness. It's a startling awareness of mindfulness. It is. Therefore, the Greek said, we can understand this experience in terms of these very basic terms, and from that we can generate everything else. That means then someone had to way back when take a look at this and say it's not enough merely to experience it, it's worthwhile understanding it. Therefore they had to make these distinctions. They had to make these distinctions so clear that other people could profit by it and they could push it into other realms, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to push it into different realms. So, the one, the good, divine luminosity expressed in these three terms, that's the primary triad, it's called.